Hey, good morning, everyone. Manera here. We are live this morning here on YouTube, and let me know if you can hear me. Let me know how my sound is. I see that Sharon's joined us, and Kerry and Mary has joined us. So, good morning, everyone. I will say this: that if anyone is messaging me on Facebook right now, that I will not be answering Facebook messages during this live video. So, let's make sure first of all. What's my sound quality like? Can you hear me okay? Can you see the page that's on the screen? I'm gonna just zoom in a little bit here, so we can see what's going on. Which pencils do I recommend today? Lynn is asking. Good morning, Lynn Miller. I'm just gonna pop this onto a link here onto Facebook, and let me just make sure that it's over there. So let's see. You can use any brand colored pencil today. You know, every time I do a live video, it is always about any brand colored pencil. I'm actually going to turn Facebook off because it's going to, thank you. Lynn is saying sound and picture are good, sound and video are good, sound is good. Awesome. Okay, so Lynn's first question, let's get that right out of the gate. We're a little bit early, but just wanted to make sure that the streaming health was good, as they say. Any pencil will do, and any brand pencil will do. And we're going to talk about skin tone pencils, and we're going to talk about other tone pencils. You know, I don't typically do skin tone videos or skin tone tutorials because I don't have any books that have skin. However, I wanted to address skin tones, and because a lot of people had asked me to do it, so that's one of the reasons why we're doing this today. The other reason is that color alongs will be moving to YouTube effective Monday, September 21st, as we begin color along volume 15. So this was kind of a good way to kind of transition over to YouTube. So color alongs are making the move to YouTube for several reasons. The biggest reason, it's a better quality connection, and we won't have that crazy hum. So I'm using a variety of Black Widow pencils today to go back to Lynn's question. I have the whole Black Widow suite, as they say. I have the whole set. I have skin tones. I have cobras. I have scorpions. I have monarchs. And anything that is in the skin tone set can be found, really, I think, in the monarch set, mostly. So let's hope that we can get that settled. Let me just get Scarlet a bone, because, of course, you got to get the dog a bone first. And then we're going to get started. Hang on, Scarlet. Oh, what's wrong? Oh. Okay, come on. Scarlet. Come. Come on, give me a biscuit. Come. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Had to get the dog a bone. So let's take a look, first of all, at the PDF that everyone and again, this is a free video to watch. You do not have to have paid to be here today because we are on the tube, on YouTube. So we have a PDF today that you can get if you're interested in on my website. It's $5.99. There's a link in the comments. There's a link in the chat box that you can go ahead and purchase for $5.99. It's 3 coloring pages. We're going to take a look at all 3 of them. And we probably won't finish the 3rd one, but I definitely want to take a look at all 3 of them. And they are these kind of grayscale illustration style type photos. Here's one of them. Here's another one of this woman. A little bit different. And here's the 3rd one. So what I want to really talk about today is these skin tone pencils from Black Widow. And I am a huge Black Widow fan of Black Widow colored pencils. I think they are excellent pencils for the money. I think that the quality of the pencils are wonderful. And if you have every set, that's great. Do you need every set? Probably not. Albert Jones is probably going to not like me saying that. But of course, go buy all of them. I'm not paid to endorse these pencils in any way, shape, or form. So, well, sometimes he does send me some freebies, but I'm not paid to talk about them the way I do. This is my this is the light tone set, and this light tone set has a variety of different colors, and you can see. I'm going to put them like this. You can see along the ends of the pencils that they actually have the color on the pencils. I love that about these pencils. Love pencils that have that. What do you guys think? Tell us in the comments below. What do you think about pencils that have that in the at the tip of the pencil? Very, very cool, right? So here is the light tone. Now, when you think of skin, I mean, let's be real. What do you think of? I think of, and I think a lot of us do, we think of beige and brown and tan. We think of the typical skin color. I mean, does anybody disagree with that? So this is the dark tone set, and I think this is more of maybe what we kind of have been programmed in our world to think of. I mean, we don't have pink people walking around. If we did, then fine, that's great. But to think of pink as being a pencil, yeah, Sharon, I agree. I love that feature on the pencils too. To think of pink as being the color of someone's skin walking around, wouldn't it be great if there were pink people and pink dogs and pink cats zipping around the world? It would be, I think it would be fun. But sometimes we do not need just these typical beige, tan, brown, what we kind of have stereotyped as the color of someone's skin. Lynn says, I need the color at the bottom. The blues, purples, black, and browns are too difficult to see without the color. I agree with you. The other thing is that some pencils are not really true to what is at the end. What do you think about that? I mean, there are some pencils that are kind of like a surprise. I get annoyed when that happens. I don't know about you. It's kind of one of the little things that kind of bug me. This Black Widows, I think, are pretty true to what the end of the pencil is telling me. So we've got these skin tones and these light tones. Now, I think it's great that Black Widow has come out with specific pencils for skin tone. Fantastic. I'm not going to discount that at all. I think it's a great thing that they've done. However, a lot of people feel like they can't color skin because they don't have skin tone pencils. So please don't feel like that. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Specifically for the Monarch pencils. So this is the latest set of pencils from Black Widow. These are the Monarch wax colored. They're all wax colored pencils. And these are the Monarch pencils. There's 48 to this set. And if you take a look at this particular set, you will find that there are some colors in this set that you could pull out of this. For instance, here's one. This one is called Blush. And if I didn't have the skin tones, but I did have the Monarchs, I could easily use Hot Pink. This isn't really as hot as you would think it would be, hot pink as you would think it would be, but you could easily pull that as a hot pink. The other thing is that if you were looking for maybe a brown, a dark brown, here's a mahogany. that is from Monarch. And if you take a look at the dark skin tone set, you could easily match this up with either Mocha or even this one, which is called, let me pull it up off the floor. Sorry about that, Paisley. I didn't want to interrupt your good time you're having down there. This one is called Mud. So you could easily. So Sharon is saying that's what I thought initially is, and I think I understand what you're talking about. Sharon thought that how am I ever going to be able to color skin tones if I don't have skin tone pencils? Doesn't make a difference. So if you take a look at what's there, I mean, certainly go out and purchase these pencils because, I mean, if you buy every set of Black Widow pencils, this is not a video about trying to get you to go buy Black Widow pencils at all. But if you were going to purchase Black Widow pencils, if you bought every single set, you will just basically have all different colors. There really are no repeats. Maybe some of the colors look similar to people. Like here's one that's called Fudge, this pinkish color, which could be kind of like this one right here in the light skin tone set, which is called Merc. You know? So you could easily mix them up, match them up. You could, you know, think outside of the box. Think about sometimes maybe, think about makeup. That's another way to think about skin tones. Think about what colors there are for makeup. If you're using like a foundation makeup, maybe there's all different color beiges. But if you're starting to get involved with either lipstick or blush, sadly people don't really wear a lot of lipstick lately anymore, right? Because of wearing a mask. I think there should be mask lips that you should be able to attach lips to your mask and put lipstick on them. I think that would be kind of funny. But if you take a look at the Black Widow spider set, you can easily kind of pull out some browns. Okay, so I think that rather than kind of talk this subject to death, I think that we pretty much get the idea that you do not need a skin tone set that is identified or is only for skin tones, you know? So you could actually use anything you would like. I want to put a piece of paper underneath what I'm coloring because I have this like corrugated cardboard situation going on underneath me, underneath the page, and I don't want to get lines in these faces. So let's start out with this one here, and I'm just going to put this aside. I want to make sure that I'm zoomed in enough. I am, okay. And let's just kind of take a look at how do you create those tones. So we look at faces to color, and I guess the biggest thing that people say is, how do you make it look three-dimensional or two-dimensional, or how do you make it look like it actually is a difference between maybe this side and this side? Mary says she has Black Widow Cobra. Yeah, and a lot of the Cobra, I have the Cobras right here also. Let me open those up too. I have to get rid of my tape that's holding it together. Lynn's probably laughing. So remember, so these are the Cobra ones. And again, another good selection. I mean, you've got this one right here, which is this called Rattlesnake. But if you take a look at some of the colors that are in here, you don't have to worry that you don't have, I mean, for instance, this beige color. This is called Eggshell. This one here is one of my favorites, actually, Carrot. I use the skin tone pencils to color other stuff too, not just skin. So, so there's the Cobras. The other ones, I'm embarrassed to show you my Scorpions because they really used a lot. So remember, color alongs I'm moving to YouTube as of Monday. This Monday, the 21st. If you have the color along book, volume 15, you should have received an email from me along with, oh, how did this get in here? You don't belong in there. Along with a Facebook instant message to the group of all the people and explaining exactly what to do. If you have any questions, of course, if you have a question, you're not here today. So that's kind of a, that's not really relevant to what we're doing here today. But basically, everyone should have received everything, all of that information. And it's going to be good because it's a better stream. It's a better quality video. And I bet the hum is going to. Lynn says, I have all the sets. They live together. Do they get along? Because there's a big question, right? Do they get along? So let's start out with, we've got to kind of use all of these, right? So let's start out, first of all, with this actual skin tone set. Now, if we take a look at this woman's face, typically underneath the neck is going to cast a shadow. The face is going to cast a shadow onto her neck. So that would be darker, okay? So I'm going to actually start out with a few different colors. And coloring skin sometimes is all about layering of colors and to create that build up. So this one is called Merc. I'm going to kind of swatch it right here, okay? And I guess I should have a pencil, a regular pencil. This is a BW S-Tone Light, and it's called Merc. Just going to kind of color along the bottom of her face, the bottom of her chin, in the direction of her face. And just going to kind of give it a heavier pressure as I go along the jawline, and a little bit of a heavier pressure as I go underneath those lips. Because think about it, it's going to cast a shadow. The short ones have trouble as they think they are more special. Short people, right? They think they're short people. Is that like a short person thing? Now here's the other side of her nose, but we don't really see that line, so we just want to kind of create that right there. I have to zoom in just a little bit more. Hang on one second. Okay, much better. Much better with the zoom. Yeah, those shorties always think that they're more special, don't they? So I've done a kind of a heavier pressure along the bottom of that. And I just printed this on just regular old copy paper. So I'm not on any type of fancy schmancy type paper. And here again, there's going to kind of be a darker section there. So I'm going to put a little bit of this Merc color there. I don't know why it's called Merc, but interesting names with Black Widow. Again, underneath the eyes. So we're kind of like jumping all over the place because we don't want to color it completely flat. And now I'm going to kind of go just a little bit, bit of a lighter pressure. Now I'm going to jump on with my blush color. Here is blush. And I'm going to go over what I did. And what that will do is kind of give it a pinker look. They kind of blend together a little bit. In here again, along the face, or along the nose, along the face. I'm on top of the nose a little bit. I want this kind of above the lip to be a little bit different. And think about what happens with someone's face. This has kind of like a cheekbone. Maybe this person has really high cheekbones. I've got to, maybe, how's my lighting over there? Maybe we need to move this a little bit, right? And don't forget, we've got this bottom portion here, and I'm going to use this darker color, which is called Saffron. This is a really nice color, actually. The other thing is that I don't want my pencils to be too pointy, because then it'll kind of look scratchy. I'm going to kind of go a little bit under that lip with the saffron color. Here, I would imagine this is going to be a little darker. Along the jaw. And here is the neck here. And I'm going to go back over with my blush. So it's kind of a lot of go back around, add more here, add more there. We kind of want this imaginary circle here on her forehead to maybe be a little bit lighter. So maybe we don't want to add anything. But you can kind of already see how we've got just this darker section here. And for those of you that take drawing with me, we talk about when we draw something to kind of find where the highlight may be. So let me give you an example here. So here may be a vase, and we would want this all colored, and maybe right here we would have kind of an imaginary circle in our head, and we would not color this. But instead we would color all around this, and that would make this kind of be like a highlight. So think of the same thing when it comes to her chin, especially right here. We want to kind of have that be a little bit so it kind of sticks out. Well, we don't want her chin to like really stick out like she's like the Wicked Witch of the West here, but we just want to make sure that it has enough of a variation and a gradation of color with the pencils. And sometimes less is more. And then we've got this eggshell color here, which is actually called Brown Fog. This one is Saffron. Brown Fog. And I'm writing these down so that when I take a picture of this, we'll have them all here, basically. This Brown Fog is kind of like our blender, our colorless blender type situation. I'm gonna go a little bit on top of that nose, maybe kind of get this part to come up. So see how it's already kind of taking shape, that she's got this kind of, the difference, it's not very flat anymore. Do this Brown Fog here. There's really not much that you have to do to it. When you think about, and we don't want to color the whites of her eyes. I don't really know if I want to give her blue eyes, but I will kind of go in with this brown a little bit. And then her lips. I am going to do a little bit of a sharper point on this pretty pink color from the Skin Tones of Light. So what do you think? I mean, the other thing is that be sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the thumbs up button at the bottom of the video. And this way you'll be notified whenever I go live on YouTube. Or as they say, I watch a lot of YouTube videos and they're always talking about hitting the thumbs up button. Hit the bell so you'll know when I'm live. Become a subscriber of the channel. So I'm just kind of adding this color so it's darker at the bottom of that lip so it looks like it's a little more pouty. And then I've got this other color here. So say hello if you're here watching for the first time. This one's called Rust. And I want to just kind of go with a little bit of a rust color, just kind of filling in here and there. Kind of blending it around. Now don't forget, I've got nothing here because it's kind of like the highlight of the cheek. And then personally, I think that when you get involved with the hair, and I will do the hair on this because I just want you to see how much that face is going to actually pop once we get the hair going on there. So I've got cinnamon for the hair. As I said, the color. And I am going to kind of, just like when you're coloring this, in this particular one, it's kind of like when you're coloring grayscale. I'm going just completely over this section of hair, over my darker lines. But I want it to kind of really be a little bit darker as I get closer to that face. And then we'll probably go in with some yellow on this here also. Just to kind of blend it up a little bit. Kind of give us some highlights. Just going to kind of add it here a little bit. A little bit darker section here. Again here, just kind of adding, look at the difference, just when you add that color for the hair. And again here, I'm going to, here, which is it? Here, and here. So give it a darker section here. I'm going to kind of leave that where it is there. This is kind of a little bit of hair kind of in her eye, I guess. And then giving it a little bit of a brown on that top portion. And then I've got this yellow color, which is called Sunburst, in this particular set of Black Widows. And I'm just going to kind of, here and there, just kind of give her a little bit of a, you know, a yellow highlight. You know, a lot of people color skin tones. You can see them on Facebook coloring groups all the time, where the faces do not look anything like they should look, right? Sometimes they color them purple or green or blue. Those are kind of fun. Those always look kind of funky. So it really doesn't make a difference what the color is. It's just a matter of getting that technique so that it actually kind of looks like it's a face. Looks like it'll be able to take away. Alice, hey, good morning, Alice. I'm watching on TV but can't figure out how to chat on the TV, but I do hear that weird noise. Really? Oh my goodness, thank you for telling me that. Yeah, you know, I watch a lot of YouTube videos on my TV, and I don't know how to chat on the TV. Does anybody know how to do that? Because there's a lot of times where I hear people say, oh, leave a comment below, and then I can't do it because I'm on TV. What do you think? I've had a YouTube channel for a long time, years, and but I've always just kind of stuck with Facebook. So a lot of changes happening at Facebook. So I want to be able to continue to offer tutorials and videos like I've been doing, free of charge. Color alongs are always free to watch. It's just if you want to buy the book, you can buy the book. I want to be able to continue to still offer that, and I want to make sure that it remains at the same price, you know. Her personality in the face changes with the color. Completely, Mary. Thank you. That's a good point, actually. And moving color alongs to YouTube is just, it's really going to just make a huge difference. And I won't go into all of the nitty-gritty details about it. I mean, if you have any questions and you want to learn more, feel free to get in touch with me. But it just really is just something that really needs to happen right now. I'm kind of sensing something, and I just hope that you can kind of bear with me and see what's about to happen. So really kind of making that change to that brown really kind of makes a difference. So you can really kind of see how her jawline changes here by making that darker and actually kind of going up here. Hey, Carrie saying, I don't have internet connection to my TV, just an indoor aerial. I don't know what that is because I'm in the US and you're in England, and it's kind of a different thing. What is that? I don't know how you can chat while you're watching YouTube on TV. It's interesting, isn't it? I wonder if there's something in the settings, or it would be so much easier. I think it would be easier anyway. All right, so here's our first one. So you can kind of really see the difference about what is happening there. Let's take the next one, and let's take a look at, for this woman, let's take a look here with some Monarch pencils. Now, for this one, I've not really used these very much. So my points or my tips of these pencils look like they're kind of like squared off. Oh, just normal TV, not cable. Okay. The quality of the video is so much better on YouTube. Thank you, Alice. But we still hear that funny noise? I wonder if it's the app that I use. I'll have to take a look at that and see if I can use a different app. So for this one, we talked about having the same type of colors, right? So we don't really need to think beige and tan. And so let's think about pinks. So we've got some Monarch pencils here. I've got mushroom. That's a good color, kind of looks skinish. Here's another one that is called mango. That could actually be applied to her skin. Here's another one that's called light pink. That's another good Monarch one. Here's another one that's called cream. Excellent blender for this particular page. So let's see what we can do with just these, and then maybe even kind of bring in this color here, which is called iceberg, and see how this iceberg color can actually make a difference in this particular face. So let's first of all give these kind of a little swatch along the side, just so we can kind of see what we're playing with. And these are Monarchs on this particular page. So I'm going to make a note over to the side. So these are Black Widow Monarch. And let's see if I can get them all together like I just did them. Let's see. Well, I know this one is called Iceberg. And Mushroom. This one is called light pink. Here it is right here. And then this one is called mushroom. What a weird name for a pencil. And it doesn't really look like a mushroom. I mean, I don't know. Mushrooms, what do you think, Lynn? Lynn's our mushroom expert. It's a different noise. Oh, what does it sound like? I don't have the sound on. Is it really? Mushroom. Oh, my voice sounds different on here too. What does the voice sound like? I mean, the noise sound like? Is it that shh, like shushing noise? So we have mango and cream. And this one is the mango. And this one is the cream. So I'm actually playing around with a few. Let's start out with mushroom. And this one is interesting because this has a lot of the lights and darks that we can kind of follow along. So this is kind of the darkest color of this group right here. So I'm going to use this one for the darker sections here. And I'm actually going to use it first in color all across here and across the side of her face. And underneath her eye. And I'm going to kind of follow my lights and my darks, but it's a good exercise to kind of know where all those lights and darks are. So I'm playing around with a few different platforms for streaming, and different things are going to kind of transition from now until the end of the year is basically what's going to happen. So color alongs will move to YouTube as of Monday. And then I'm using Zoom for some private lessons, which, by the way, my private lessons are now full. I won't be taking anybody else on as a private student right now. So we've got this kind of mushroom color here. See this right here, like the ball of her chin, like the kind of like the bump right there that sticks out the most. We're going to leave that empty. We're also uncolored. We're also going to leave it here. So it is that crazy noise, like a washing machine. Oh, I think that's the stream quality, to be honest with you. Let me see if I can change something else. Hold on one second. According to this, it's telling my stream health is excellent. I don't know. So let's see if I can change something else here. Age restriction. Nope. Okay. Well, I'll have to see what else happens when I'm like not live. I have to play around with an app I need to use. So here's our mushroom color, okay? Then we have, let's play around with this color right here. This one's called Iceberg. And I'm going to kind of give it kind of the opposite, the edges of her face with this iceberg color. I kind of don't want that, I don't want my point of my pencil to be too pointy. So here is our iceberg color. You know, a lot of people color faces a completely different color, and you know, why not? But again, I'm leaving that section there. Does she kind of look like a witch? I'm not really sure. She kind of looks like getting a green face. It'll change. It'll change as I add the other color in it. So now let's move on to, this one's called Light Pink. To kind of just, you know, freshen things up a little bit. Maybe the tip of her nose a little bit. Again, coloring maybe the side of her nose. And in the direction of what the face is. We're going to give her some lips. But you can really kind of tell how that green section here, that iceberg color, really kind of makes a difference. I'm going to pop in some of this darker color, actually. This is called Rusty. I'm sticking with my Marnox here. Because I just want to get it to be a little bit darker here. And again, where the darker sections are, kind of identify those lips a little bit. And maybe we want to blend this rust color with this cream color here. But we don't want to see it. We don't want to see the lines. So there's kind of like the trick there, you know. I think that if you did them with watercolor pencils, it would really make a difference. And you know, I'm not a portrait artist, and I've done a few portraits, and I mean, people have said, oh, they're really, really nice, but everyone's just really nice and just says a lot of nice things. So I just don't like how they look. So I'm not really a portrait artist. I guess maybe I'm comparing myself to people like Jennifer Zimmerman, for example. If you do follow Jennifer Zimmerman, she has an incredible, coloring books that are portraits. So see how that just kind of made a difference there? Now I'm just going to kind of soften it here with my cream color. Because we don't really want to see that line. We don't want to really see that line in someone's face. Alice is saying, oh, great comment. It really does. She's talking about the green. I wouldn't have thought to add that green color, but it really kind of makes a difference right there. And just kind of like adds to that section there. And then, of course, for the lips, I mean, we could go with anything. We could go with like the 80s style lips with just this kind of like lavender color. Remember the 80s? Does anybody remember in the 80s when you had like this type of lipstick? I remember having this type of lipstick in the 80s. And I'm going to just do like a fine line right there. And we want it to kind of, we don't want the lips to be outlined. I mean, you could outline them with something else like a lip liner if you were going to like outline them with lip liner maybe. And let's pull in this this pink color here. I've been kind of eyeballing this one. This is called Hot Pink. And just to kind of blend it. She's ready. She's ready for the club. And look how it just kind of made a difference, just kind of made those lips kind of pop out. So we've got to kind of give this a name. Oh my goodness. It's one of those like too much pain today day, let me tell you. And then for the hair, I mean, I guess she should be a brunette, right? Because, I mean, look at the darkness here. But so let's go back in. Oh, this is lavender. That's not move on. But here's a good, actually, Lynn made a comment earlier that I like that the tips, because it's kind of hard to see the difference between the blues and the purples and the browns. And this is a really good example because here's lavender and rusty. And when you really kind of look at them, you think to yourself, which is which, you know? So it's kind of hard to tell. So I'm going to go with rusty on her hair. Oh, she looks like she could have gray streaks because that's like the in thing, right? To have gray streaks of hair flipping through. And I'm just going to kind of add these colors. And again, I'm coloring on top of this darker section. But coloring in the direction of the hair because we kind of want it to be flowing. Here's some little hair in her eyes. Looks like it must be driving her crazy. And then again here, just to kind of make the face pop, make that face come out. We want that dark section along the jawline. But we don't really want to make a line on around her face because, but look at the difference right here. Here is where I added that green color or iceberg, which is up here in this corner. And I think it really makes a difference. So really it's all about adding different colors to where the different darker portions of a face would, where the darker portions of the face would be. Alice says, wow, I must be in. I have gray around my ears. I know, I think that about myself too. We're in. We're with the cool kids, right? Don't let anyone tell you any different, Alice. We're with the cool kids. You must have been one of the people that started the trend, you know? That's how you got to think of it. This one is Negra. This is from the Black Widow. I was going to say the Sound collection. No, it's from the SD collection, which is the dark tones. Find my pencil. This one is SD and it's Negra. So I branched out, you know. I went off on the, I left the Monarchs and went off onto the other ones. So I hope it was easy to find. I mean, was this channel easy to find? I mean, I just don't want people to get lost as they're venturing over to YouTube. I know a lot of people that have YouTube channels while they're doing a live video. They have like moderators to get out the trolls. And hey, I'm not that in to have trolls. So well, you know you've made it big on YouTube or on social media when you start to have a troll, right? All right, let me just go back in and refresh a couple of things. Just want to make sure that the stream health is okay, and I don't know if boy, a lot happening too. Hurricanes and fires. I don't know if Gene Mellinger is watching. Is Gene Mellinger watching? Carrie says, I had already subscribed, so I got a notification. That is the way to do it, Carrie. Carrie's in the know. Definitely. You need to make sure that you subscribe to my channel, hit that thumbs up button, as they say, and then you'll be notified. So you'll get a notification that you've subscribed. You can hit the like button, the little thumbs up there, and I'll be able to see who's thumbed it up. who's thumbed it up, right? You can also go into the chat section and you can make a comment along the bottom, not just here. This video will remain. It'll be here. There'll be replays indefinitely, and hopefully this was easy. I think it's easy. I watch a lot of YouTube. I watch a lot of people on YouTube. I watch a lot of different. You can find us so much on YouTube. It's kind of scary sometimes, to be honest with you. You want to know how to do something, just go to YouTube, right? I mean, maybe they're going to tell you the wrong way to do it, but definitely easy enough. Everything here. So the last page, where was my last page? Let's do this one a little bit more unconventional, kind of out of the norm. And let's see what happens if we do this one with maybe some blues and some greens. And I'll stick with my monarchs. And I'm going to go with this one. So I'm going to use monarchs on this one also. Let's make sure we can still see what's going on, right? Okay, we can. Oh, I thought the video stopped for a minute. So I'm going to use my monarchs here also. And let's just kind of pull out some interesting colors here. Maybe this purple, which is called gray slate, which to me looks like purple. I don't know about you. So we've got this one called Cat's Eye. Always love the names of Black Widow pencils. Lynn is saying, I never get notifications from YouTube even though I subscribe. You would get the notification in an email. Right, Carrie? Is that how you got the notification? Because I get a notification in my email telling me who's live. But you know, come to think of it, maybe I don't get a notification every single time. Maybe we're just not in the know, Lynn. Let's go with just this, these three colors, this is called Sky. And we're going to do something a little bit different with this one, and we will, I'll do a heavier pressure. This one's called Cat's Eye. This is not what I expected. Did you expect this? Look at that. I did not expect that. So maybe we're not going to use that one. Gray Slate. That one's not bad. But I'm not really sure about that Cat's Eye. I wanted it to be more of a deeper blue. So maybe this ocean color. That's called Ocean. Maybe. This one's called Denim. Oh, this is probably more of what I was looking for. So we'll see what happens with these. Okay, so let me get myself organized here and get rid of this disaster I have happening. Move these over. It pops up on your screen. Oh, Carrie's asking, did you press the bell and set it to all? Good question. Yeah, did you press the bell? And set it to all. There's probably the reason. Because if you press the bell and you don't set it to all, then you won't get a notification for every single time. That makes sense? This one's Sky, and I'm going to do a light pressure of Sky just to kind of give it a base. Because she looks like she's kind of blue. Doesn't she look like she's like maybe a little sad today? She's thinking to herself, what have I done? Tell a little story. I should never have broken up with him. Doesn't it kind of look like she's saying all those things? Kind of look at people, and this is kind of like people watching, you know? You know when you are people watching, and come on, you all do it. We all do it. People watch. And just kind of think of a story for someone, and what's their story? Giving it just kind of a light blue. That's just light. Now, let's make it so it's not scary, right? So let's go back with this denim color next. Where does it pop up on your screen? Like on YouTube, Carrie? This is denim. I'm going to color this side of her face with this denim color. Just to kind of show you about when people kind of start to use different colors and exactly what happens. Now, if we were using more of a better quality paper, maybe a cardstock, or if we were using maybe a mixed media paper, it would look completely different because that pencil will look completely different. Take this gray slate color, and I don't like this because it has just kind of too much of a point, so I'm going to kind of break that point. I need to sharpen it and get a better point. On the top of my tablet, like a Facebook notification or email. Oh, all right. So that's interesting to know. So here is this purple color, this gray slate, which completely does not look like it's doing its job here, but well, as far as looking like this color here. But I just want to kind of blend it into this blue. But following those lights and darks, we've got a dark section here because that's kind of like the indent above her lip and below. That type of thing. So I just wanted to be able to kind of talk about skin tone pencils, kind of do a little introduction to skin tone and what's it all about, and should you be intimidated with coloring it. I mean, this is just strictly tutorial information here today. I'm going to kind of give it a little bit of lips there. I think she should have some pink lips. I don't know about you. Let's see. This one is called Fudge. What a weird name for pink. Does not look like fudge to me. When I think of fudge, I think of a chocolate or caramel or like a brownish color. Am I missing something here with this fudge? I'm going to go in with my hot pink and just kind of give it a little bit of a definition on the middle of the lips and maybe where the darker sections are, just so that it's kind of identified a little more that they're kind of popping out. Her lips are popping out. Here's Fudge and Hot Pink. Just going to add those words there. Hot Pink, Fudge. What was the other one that I used? Did I use Light Pink? This one right here? No, that's not it. I don't remember what this one was. I'll have to take a look at that one again. So just kind of, and then you could go back in with kind of a neutral color and blend. And to me, neutral color for Monarch would be these two colors here, which is called Fawn or Ice Cream. Oh, wow, Ice Cream. Interesting color, right? So let's use Ice Cream. And I'm just going to kind of blend it, and that will just kind of give me a little bit of a blend. I'm not going to do anything to her hair. I'm going to leave it the way it is. But she kind of looks like a blue. She's in her blue stage. This one is Saffron. I just want to kind of give it a little bit of a darker lip. So those are our completed pages from today. Let me see if I can get them all to show on the screen. There we go. Those are our three. So we used Black Widow pencils. We used some skin tones. We used some monarchs. And you just want to make sure that everyone realizes that although Black Widow pencils are wonderful because they have created pencils specifically for skin tone, you don't really need to have the skin tone. So even if you bought another type of pencil from Black Widow, you should be all set. The other thing that's nice is that the Black Widow pencils for skin tone have this little gold stripe, so you can kind of identify where that goes in your set, unless you're like Lynn and they all live together. And then the monarchs all have this brown or rust colored little stripe. So do we have any questions about today? I'm going to go ahead and end the stream because it's kind of giving me a little bit of a heads up. Well, thanks for joining me today, everyone. If anyone has any questions, be sure to just let me know. You can find all my contact information in the description of this video along the bottom. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit that thumbs up, hit the bell so you get notified, and I will see everyone on Monday back here on YouTube for the next color along. Thanks so much, everyone.